Hey, besties. Let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? So, we finally get an intro with the taglines, and it was like hearing them again for the very first time. And then, I've been asking for them for 2 weeks. Then I get them, and then I remember, like, oh, yeah, they weren't that great. We could have, yeah, nah, nah. Nah. Welcome, besties. You are now behind the shade, and thanks for joining me. I recap your favorite reality shows weekly. Now let's kiki and haha and get into another episode of The Real Housewives of Orange County. It's season 19, episode 15, Going Dutch. Rating this episode. Mm, I liked it because you know, Emily shot her shot with stirring the pot, but it didn't land. Heather shut it down. And at the end, there was some resolve. At least some for this group, there may not be resolve. And I understand Shannon's position. You get tired of people in a mess. Tamra is not going to change, and she's going to continuously have you on this roller coaster, the merry-go-round. Shannon is 60 years old, maybe 61 now, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it has to stop. It has to stop because she's not. And it's driving Tamra crazy that Shannon is shading her. It's driving Tamra crazy. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Besties, you drop down in the comments and you let me know. Are you here for it? Let me know what you thought. Please like the video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and make sure your notification bell is on so that you know each and every time I post my content. Now, Shannon has planned this last minute bridal something of another, a celebratory for being engaged with no wedding date. Some kind of luncheon for Jen for being in love with Ryan and possibly getting married, but no date set yet. And she is mad because everything she asked for, the people ain't doing it. She don't have the right glasses, not the right plates. The napkins are wrong. The table is wrong. And she kept her cool, but she said she was mad about it, honey. So Gretchen gets there first, and she tells Gretchen, that she doesn't need to go so low with Tamra. And Tamra, because Gretchen feel like she got to pop off, right? And if I remember, I think Gretchen is a Scorpio, but I'm not sure. But something about her, she just got to clap back, right? And so Shannon is the OG of learning Tamra and knowing how to deal with her. And she's like, just don't. So, so Shannon also tells Tamra, word on the street is you act just like Tamra. You think you don't, and you try to pride yourself as something different, but you're her. You're just like her. And what Shannon says is, and the world does not need two Tamras. And I'm like, amen to that. Besties. Speaking of Tamra, the whole debacle about her having in the studio with the pop star? I found out that the pop star is Nick Lachey's brother, Drew Lachey. That's who the alleged rumors that she allegedly was getting it on with Drew. Uh-huh. We cracked that case. So Gretchen is very brought aback that you are taken aback that you are telling her that she acts like Tamara because she does not agree. Honey, she had a long grocery list, like a Costco list, okay, of reasons why she is not like Tamara. and she read some things off. I think I remember something about my kid doesn't think I'm manipulating her. My friends don't tell me not to say stuff, and I say it anyway. My exes don't come for me. I mean, the list went on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And I heard no lies detected, honey. So she says she will try harder to keep it cool. And I'm like, not you need a pep talk from Shannon before the event starts. Shannon is like, look, this event is for Jen, so you gonna cool it, because I'm gonna ignore her. Do what I do, Gretchen. Follow me. Keep it light, keep it simple, and keep it cute and on mute. Okay. So then Jen, all the ladies come, and I think someone asked, it probably was Emily, asked Shannon, was she gonna speak to Tamra? She was like, no. Or it was between Tamra and Gretchen. Maybe they asked Gretchen, was she gonna speak to Tamra? She was like, no, probably not. Nope, nope. So Shannon then they sit down. Jen comes and everybody's like, "Oh, how cute are you? Oh yeah, so for you." And she's like, "Thank you guys." And well, we'll get to that later. So Shannon kind of shades Jen, and she's like, "Oh yeah, because you're not engaged. I mean, you're engaged, but you don't have a wedding date. So this luncheon, we're just celebrating that you're still engaged a year later. Like, I don't know who's going to give you your luncheon next year." And it's like, Shannon, shut up. What are you saying? And I'm like, this is what you get when you get somebody that just got dumped. They trying to do something nice for you and they can't be happy for you. They are, but they're not at the same time. How are you shading me and trying to have something nice for me? And we heard you, Shannon, say that those plates cost you $2,000. We heard that. So Shannon wants the ladies to give Jen marriage advice. So Tamara says, don't say mean things. And they're all picking up a lesson from their first marriage. Everyone has been divorced at this table except for Heather. And she's like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. She, prides herself on that. And so then they said, well, we'll get your advice last. So Tamara is saying her experience came from her last marriage with Simon. So she said, don't say mean things. Me and Simon, we did say mean things, and it just goes, it gets worse. Terrible. Shannon says communicate, because she didn't do that with her and David or with her and John. Emily is like, marry your person. She said her first husband, he was cool, he was nice, but Shane is her person, like peanut butter and jelly. You know what I'm saying? Like the key and the lock. They click, they get each other, they were made for each other. And so Gina says, don't lose yourself. Maintain your whatever you do, keep doing that. Okay. Don't get lost in everything you do. You live for them and you lose who you are. Okay. Gretchen says, yeah, marry your best friend, and faith is what keeps us going. So make sure you are equally yoked. Okay. Um, and Heather says, just ignore the mean comments that you read about you. You know who you go home to. Don't worry about what the people are saying. So Emily says, oh, since we're all getting along and I'm enjoying all these friendships, let's go somewhere. And so Shannon says, somebody said, let's go somewhere warm. Shannon's like, scratch that. Let's go somewhere in Europe because I would like to go see my daughter afterwards. They're like, we get it. Okay, cool. So then there's a montage of everybody doing home life. And this is what I like. Bring this back into reality TV. We want to see you guys at home. You know, we want to see you at home with your people, with your spouse, doing and talking and sharing and talking, and not necessarily at home, but the time with your person. So Heather and Terry are at their penthouse. They talk about the sale of the house. It's going to be slow, blah, blah, blah. Then they talk about Heather's dad, because it seems like after he retired or whatever, maybe divorced her mom or whatever. I think the mom moved. No, I think him and her mom, they moved to Amsterdam. They were still together. he's deceased now, and she still has his ashes, and she wants to take some of the ashes to Amsterdam because her parents, they retired there. And I believe she brings them on this trip. So they're like, she's going to spread the ashes there. And so Terry says, yeah, spread them on the river where he used to live, like right in front of the front door. She like, yep, bet that's a good idea. Cool. So Gina and Travis, they go out and they discuss their parenting. So remember, the son went back to the mom, and he wasn't going to school or nothing like that. So Travis started volunteering at a school, and then I guess he did that. I don't know if he was doing that to fill a void from not having his son, or was he sending a message over to the ex-wife that, you know, our son needs to be in school? Maybe both at the same time. But anyway, the son is back home with them. So they're happy that they got everybody back in the house under one roof. Travis big ups to Gina because he says he wouldn't be able to do this without her. And I'm like, okay. And now Gina admits that she understands this family dynamic. You know, they deserve each other's love, and she knows that this ex is going to be here. She's not going to go away, you know. So that was good. I see growth in Gina. And so she's like, yeah, I'm going to go get my man back. She's like, I went and got my man back, and we're going to thug through this thing. We understand that that woman is mean and honorary and bitter, and she ain't going nowhere. And honey, I'm like, baby, Gina, I, yes, I totally understand that dynamic. And yes, you go get your man, honey. Get your man. Them exes be mad, mad, mad. But you know why she's mad and bitter? Because don't Travis got big kahunas? Well, you know, he talked about it here at this lunch. She ain't forgot about that. It's certain things men do to you that no other man will be able to ever. That woman is like, she want that old thing back, honey. So they're good. And I like it because they do deserve each other's love. They seem to get each other. Even though he's handsome. But honey, I think that Matt is fine, honey. Matt is fine. Gina be pulling them tenderonis, honey. So Jen and Ryan, they're at home. She's packing, and they're communicating very well. I love the way they can just talk and easy breezy. They talk like friends. They put it on the table. So she compliments Shannon on doing the luncheon, but you know, Jen's position is she doesn't want to do anything that reminds her of her ex. She don't want nothing. Her parents did the darn thing for that wedding, the first wedding, her first marriage. She doesn't want anything relative to it. Not a bridal party, not showers. She don't I don't think the girl want gifts. She don't want to wear a dress. He want her in a bathing suit. It's just everything is triggering her. So I'm kind of like, well, Jen, you may not be ready for marriage, and you guys might need to take it slow, and you might need to go get some counseling about that because you need to let that go. Okay, because you know we want you to live in the present, and we want you to enjoy. You know, you can do things differently, but there's some things that are tradition that you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to say, I do. What are you gonna say? Yep, I will. I mean, you have to do, you gotta get that worked on, girl. So what I was happy to hear is that her and her ex, Will, they are taking baby steps with co-parenting. One of the kids had a game, and he sat with all of them. And that was good. And she realized that she has to watch what she says to him, or she'll get blocked because he's on, you know, she got to walk on eggshells with him because he's so sensitive. So then Tamara and Eddie are out, and they're talking about how they're just not going to deal with Gretchen. She's just not going to do it. And then they talk about Sophia, her daughter, let her boyfriend spend the night. And Tamara's like, we're not doing that. Not under my roof. Because, you know, then you'll look up and don't want to go to college because you in love and you don't want to do nothing. All you want to do, and you're young. Like, he ain't going to be your forever man. So that was cute to see that side of Tamara. And so then they talk about their bad communication. And so Eddie just tells Tamara, you get drunk too much and then you just lash out. And at the table, she did not order a cocktail. She ordered a non-alcoholic beverage. And so he was like, yeah, don't do that. And she admits that she pulls away and then he wants her to come to him because he wants to help and she won't do that. And then she called him an only child and that's how he acts. And he like, they throwing shots at each other now. So then she's like, well, yeah, I'm not the a-hole, you are. And it's like, ooh, no, Tamra, no, Tamra, no, Tamra. And I'm like, didn't you just tell Jen not to say mean things to her spouse, and here you are calling Eddie an a-hole? Like, blood. Take your own advice. So they laugh, they kiki. He calls her one back, then he teases her laugh, calling her a witch, and then they laugh. So, honey, the ladies are off, honey. They are at the airport. They're hopping on their JetBlue flight, honey. They are ready for this 13-hour flight to Amsterdam. You heard? Okay. So they arrive and then they go out for a boat ride. And I don't know why these women are so overly dressed. They all wearing black. They got holes in their dresses. Stuff is out, lace, see-through, booty shorts. Where are y'all going in the daytime? They said we get dressed once for the day. We ain't coming back to the hotel to change clothes. So they gonna be in these get-ups all day. They got on tall boots, thigh-high boots, heels, toes out, fur coats. Where are y'all going? Everybody on the streets just had on jeans, t-shirts. Y'all looking like the ladies of the night in the daytime. Child. So I'm like, yeah, they tourists because they don't, you can tell they not from there. It was giving, we're tourists. We've never been here. We trying to do it all at once. Where the red light district at? So they go on this boat ride, real cool, real calm. They're speaking to the other boat riders in the water. And then Tamara suggests going to bedazzle some wee-wees, some penises. And so, of course, her Gina, no. So then Gina's like, I want to go get stoned. Where's the dispensary? And Heather's like, ooh, take me. And so here go Emily. She trying to get it started. And I love Heather for putting that fire out. So Emily asked Shannon, well, do you think that Tamara was being shady when she was asking you about your dad? And it's like, why are you bringing up hold on, y'all. Why are you bringing up, I'm sure that Temecula trip was months ago. Maybe even if it was 1 month ago. Why are you bringing up their blow up? You wasn't. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's go with it. She brings it up, asks the question. Do you think Tamara was being compassionate by chance? Because that's how I kind of took it. Shannon was like, no, it was a dig, and she will not forgive Tamara. Tamara tells Shannon that this is why she can't move on because she doesn't forgive. And it's like, Tamara, she is sick of you. She is tired of you. She's not falling for the banana in the tailpipe anymore. People get tired of you. You can't, y'all know, apology means changed behavior. Tamara uses an apology just to get to the next thing. We're on to you, Tamara. We're on to you. And Shannon has a right to not want to fool with you no more. Back off. Shoot. So Shannon's like, girl, you sat at a dinner table and called me 18 C words, y'all. You know, the C and then nut kind of rhymes with nut. Nut is in the word. You know the word. It's the white ladies, like the worst word in the world for them. We don't use that word, and yeah, it's terrible for them. So Tamara called, Shannon that 18 times. She's probably talking about last season. And then Tamara goes, well, Are you a C word? And it's like, what? And then, Tamara just exit on. That's why she's not accepting your apology. Because she asked her, are you a C word? Are you a C word? Are you? She was on repeat, okay? Heather calms her down like, bruh, stick a pin in it. And Jim was like, we're not going backwards. Stop that. We ain't going backwards. She's taking up for Shannon. So then Heather, Shannon, Gina, and Gretchen, they go to the dispensary. And then Jen, Emily, and Tamara go decorate Peen. And I was like, boo. Like, ugh. Like the place is just so cluttery, like being in somebody's cluttered closet full of material. I know it's materials but that was like the most stupidest thing that what? Okay, Amsterdam, we got to do better. You need more things to do. We got to do better. So there's, two groups, they're separated, but they're having the same conversation. So Jen talks about her lady part first, I guess because they're decorating Peen. So child, something about the surgery, and I don't get off into lady parts, so we'll move forward. Both groups are talking about Jen and Alexis's friendship. They're still friends, but Jen says she hasn't talked to Alexis. And I'm like, yeah, because she's planning her wedding and you not trying to get married. Why y'all not even y'all should have a double wedding. But she did get a save the date in the mail, but she told Shannon she's not going to go because their friendship means more to her. And Shannon was like, she appreciates that, but at the same time, she's not trying to micromanage other people's friendships. Like she doesn't want to, but at the same time, she don't want to hang out with Jen and be like, oh, so how are you and Alexis doing? And I don't know. I can't whatever. It can be done. Just that person can never be brought up because why do I care? How about that? So Emily tells Jen that she didn't seem too into her bridal luncheon. So Jen says, well, it's not my thing. I'm not trying to do nothing that I've already done because my parents put it on real thick my first marriage, and I'm not trying to do any of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even want to say I do at the altar. I don't even want someone to marry me. I want to do it myself. So Emma's like, well, did Shannon do that for herself? And Jen says no. Tamara says yes. Tamara got to make it about her. Oh, she did that to rub it in my face. She did. Yes, she did. She did it for herself. She's trying to get close to Jen and Gretchen like she replacing, Tamara. Oh, Tamara, your brain is so small. Tamara, your brain is so small. And where is her mama? I would love to see Tamara's mama. Where is she at? Where they at? She had a man, right? And they moved because they used to live in her backyard. Where is her mama? Where is Ryan? Where the people at? So both groups start to talk about Gretchen, Slade, and Tamara. So they telling Gretchen that her bringing Slade was not the move, honey. And so Gretchen was like, because the way you got to handle Tamara is you got to fight fire with fire. And Heather's like, no, you don't bring, no, no. That's not how you do it. Heather is like, you don't bring lighter fluid to a fire, okay? Yeah, no. And I like that Heather is putting these fires out. Like she's like, no, stop, no. She's like the perfect upgraded security guard for these ladies. She's like the Mrs. Garrett of the Facts of Life. She is getting these girls together, and I love it. Nicely, quick, and they listen to Heather. So Gretchen is like, well, she ain't gonna be able to talk her talk, and then I don't say something back because that's not what we doing. I'm gonna clap back. So then the ladies they all meet at dinner and they tell Heather to order. She ordered everything on that menu, honey. She was like lamb chops, prime rib, steak, uh, zucchini, a pizza. She ordered the things, honey. So, the girls went to the dispensary, right? So Shannon is stoned out of her mind. Now, what was so funny was, Shannon got to the airport to go to Amsterdam and she done banged her toe up. So she already, not Heather, Shannon is just accident prone. She just so clumsy. So she didn't hit her baby toe, showing him a picture of it. And was that a piece of hair hanging from her toe? Did I see a piece of hair? Ugh, with the that black toenail polish? Shannon. So when they got to the restaurant, they ran the tape back. Old girl and fell out the van. So Gretchen was holding her up and walking her down the stairs and told her, "Don't fall and make me fall too." That girl is so clumsy. Heather, no, Heather. Why can you want to call Shannon Heather? Shannon needs a walker. Like, I don't even trust her. Girl, you need a walker. You need something to lean on. So they're at the table and Shannon is stoned out of her mind. They like, "You all right?" Nope. So she's replaying something she told to her daughter. She told her daughter, "If you get stoned, you're gonna unalive. You're gonna be unalived." So she just sitting there in her thoughts. And so, some of the girls like this Heather. Oh gosh, why am I calling Shannon Heather? I think it was Emily. Emily is enjoying this Shannon. So then Shannon loses her barrette out of her hair. Somebody's over there brushing her hair because she got so many pieces of weave in her hair, and it's so ugly because you can see the difference between her hair and the weave, and it's just so bulky. I want to just get a razor and just, you know, I want to cut her hair right. It's just so bulky. Shannon. Come here, Shannon. So the barrette falls under the table. Tamra does a deep dive to go get it. And Tamra has on the booty shorts. So she under there showing us her butt, her little rump. And she got her light on her phone looking for it. And so Gretchen is like, "What is she down there doing? Is she going down on Shannon?" And so Tamara's like, "Well, will that help you be nice to me?" And I'm like, "Girl, you hurry up and find this barrette, please." And so uh they teasing Tamara about going down on her. And then we see Tamara's hand squeezing Shannon's breast. And Shannon says in her confessional, "Well, I'd rather you squeeze my breast than scream at me." Besties, that was so funny. And that was the end of the episode. It was good. I'm glad it ended on a good note. These girls are now, Tamara says, "Hey, we got to hurry up and get to the red light district." We'll see that next week. But the previews for next week, something happens. Something bad happens. I don't know what it is. They kind of don't tell you, but we got to tune in. And just when I almost was kind of about to give up on OC, they did okay this episode. I will watch next week because I was kind of like, oh, it's getting late. It's 15 episodes in. It's 14 episodes in, and we just gonna keep seeing Gretchen and Slade and and as much as I love Gretchen, I see why Bravo didn't bring her back sooner. I'm not enjoying her. I don't like these country hairdos with that big bump in the front, with that flip, with the headband and her confessionals, with the pink dress on. She looked like a country bumpkin. Like she looked like a Stepford wife. She looks like a robot. She just looks old fashioned. Like leave it to Beaver. Okay, I'm done because I got to bring you guys some more recaps. I got to get off this line. But besties, you know what to do. Comment, like, subscribe, notification bell. And I'll be back with another recap. Bye, besties.